If you're looking to input high resolution maps into AutoCAD like you're seeing right here, you've come to the right place. Let's get started. So what you guys are going to want to do in order to get a map on your AutoCAD template is you're going to want to come here and come up to Insert. So select Insert and then come over here and you're going to see on the right hand side this little bar, this little drop down menu from the ribbon that says Set Location. So you're just going to want to click that and you're going to notice that there's three settings. So you can import from a file. So if you have your own map, you can import it into AutoCAD and use that as a reference. You can import it from Bing Maps, which, I mean, it works, but it's not great. And then you can also import from what's called Esri Maps. So Esri Maps, I believe, is a new addition to this setting in AutoCAD 2025. If you don't have this setting in AutoCAD, previous versions of AutoCAD, then you can select Bing Maps. For the sake of this lesson, I'm going to do Esri, and then I think later on we're going to do Bing for those of you who do not have Esri Maps in your AutoCAD version. So I'm just going to leave that timestamp. It's going to be down in the timestamp, so go check that out. So what we're going to do now is we're going to click Set Location. We're going to click from Esri Maps, and you're going to have a pop-up show up. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to input an address, a latitude, a longitude, to search for an address. Now, one thing I've noted and I've figured with this is when you're selecting an address or somewhere to import from, you have to import from an actual address. If you just zoom in on a location, it will not import the map. It has to import from an address. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to go to the capital of Ontario. We're going to go to Toronto, and we're going to just select an address. So I'm going to just type in here, like, let's see, 230 Queen Street. You can follow along or select a street of your choice. We're just going to do that, and then you're going to press Enter, and you're going to see there's like a whole whack of settings that come up here, but none of them are for where I'm looking for. So then I need to specify further. So I do Toronto, I press Enter, and there it is. We got 230 Queen Street in Toronto. That's exactly where I want. I'm going to drop the marker here. Once you drop the marker, you're going to see you have a next. The next symbol is no longer grayed out, and you can then continue. Another way you can do this is, again, you don't need an address. You can just type in a coordinate, and you can just use that coordinate as your base. So after this, you're going to click Next, and then it's going to load. And once it's done loading, you're going to have to select a reference system. So I'm going to use NAD 83 because that is generally what's used. So I'm just going to use that, and then you can select your time zone, your drawing units, and everything like that. Press Next. And then what you're going to want to do is select your reference point. So this is where your main point will be on the map. So I'm going to want to select the center. I usually do. So select the center, and then I want you to specify the direction of north, and you can change it. It's going to stay as 90 for me, so I'm going to do 90, and you're going to see the map just shows up. So one cool thing about this is when you're zooming out, you can see that you can zoom in to all these different areas that are outside of where your main address is. So you just need an address kind of to get a base point for where you want to start drawing. Because over here I can go and I can zoom in on Niagara Falls and in Buffalo and everything like that, even though I use Toronto as my base point. So that's an important thing to keep in mind, and I'm going to show you a few more things with this. So another cool thing about this is you can change how the map looks on your screen. So if you come up here, you're going to see in the geolocation feature, you can capture an area, and you can also select how the map looks. So right now I have Esri imagery. I can also change it to an OpenStreetMap, and it will update in real time. My map will update to what I selected. And you're going to see when you zoom in on things, it's going to get clearer and clearer. This is more noticeable when you do the actual imagery, which is really useful for when you're actually doing, scale drawings and stuff like that. If you come here, you can see there's also the streets version, and I encourage you to go through and play with these by yourself because you can see that there's different selections you can have. So I'm just going to leave mine as Esri imagery, and we're going to continue. So I'm just going to show you what it's like to draw on a map. So it's no different than drawing on just a basic AutoCAD drawing, except for the fact that it can be a little difficult to see, so sometimes you have to change your layers. So in this case, I'm just going to leave it as white, but you're going to see, like, let's say I want to draw draw a shed or something in the corner to see kind of where it would fit on the in the real world. So if I come here and I go to polyline, I can then just I can draw this little shed. You're going to notice that the measurements should be relatively close to how it is in real life. Another thing to note is when you're doing drawings, especially for an area like where I'm doing, is it can get a little confusing with the angles and everything. So you got to keep that in mind when you're using the program and when you're trying to do 3D drawing. So you come here, it's not perfect, but it's just for the example anyways. But it's like, okay, well, this is where I want the foundation to be. This is how large it would be in reference to everywhere else, and that's just how it looks. So keep that in mind when you are drawing in this, and then you can just continue drawing like you normally would in AutoCAD. It just gives you a reference point, and it can be very useful to kind of visualize things, and that's usually what these are for. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to get into the Bing Maps. I'm going to show you how to use that. So when you're using Bing Maps, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to do a similar thing. So come on over to Insert. Let's go to Set Location from Bing Maps, and you're going to see a similar thing pops up, except it's Bing Maps. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to where we wanted before. It works pretty much the same way. 230 Queen Street. We're going to type that in, and then we're going to do Toronto. Press Enter. And it's going to, okay, do you want this? Drop marker? Yeah, I want to drop the marker there. Drop marker, click Next. And then it's going to do a similar process to what we did before. You're going to want to select your coordinate system. We're going to do NAT 83. We're going to click that. And then you also select a reference point here. So we're going to go as center as possible and then specify the north. And there you go. And then now we've got Bing Maps. So what's the real difference between Bing Maps and Esri Maps? Well, Esri Maps is just, it's just new. That's pretty much it. It has a few different other types of views you can see too, so it's useful for, I guess, people who are doing transportation. I don't do that. Because you can see here, Bing, you can have aerial, road, and then hybrid. So that's all Bing has in comparison to Esri having, a dark mode or anything else like that. One thing to notice if you are in AutoCAD 2025, you can switch between the two. You can switch between shutting the map off for everyone else, and you can switch between Bing and Esri at any time you want. You don't have to go through the process of manually selecting it and deleting it if you want to use the other one. You can just go and select it and change it at any time. For those with older versions, I guess you're kind of stuck with these three, but nonetheless, it's still very helpful. So we hope this tutorial was helpful to you. We hope that it helped. If you'd like to see a video that is based on drawing in a real world scenario like this, we're probably going to release one. If you're interested in that, leave a comment, send us a message, and we'd love to hear from you. Also, don't forget that we have a webinar coming up. Go sign up for that and check out our accelerator program. That's a new thing we started doing. So until next time, thank you, like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.